to Proverbs 22. Proverbs 22. We're talking to the children today. Is that okay? Can we talk to the children and let them know how some of the things we went through in life? Now, I can only tell them by telling them what I've been through in my life. So I'm going to tell you some of my experiences as a kid. Got to make sure my mom is at the right distance. Let me see. She's about 15 feet away. That's good. That's good. I got time to run. Ushers, I want you to keep looking at my mom as we go through this service, all right? If she gets up, move. Tell me to move. It's just like protecting the president. Get me out of here just real fast. Take a bullet for me. Take a shoe. Do what you got to do. Hey, Mom, how you doing? All right, so we're going to start with Proverbs 22:6. Proverbs 22:6. It says this, and I read, it says, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not turn from it. Now, I'm not claiming that I'm old. I'm just claiming that I'm older. All right? I'm older. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not turn from it. I want you to write this one down too. Write Proverbs 13:24. It says, he who spares the rod hates his son. He who loves him is careful to discipline him. You get that? He who spares the rod hates his son. Hates, not likes a little bit, hates his son. He who loves him is careful to discipline him. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up is because back in my years, I'm not going to say too long ago, but years ago, I used to question whether some of the things I went through was discipline or abuse. Anybody ever question that? You ever question that? Some of y'all questioners, raise your hand. Some of y'all like, man, I don't know if I'm getting abused or what. They beat me all the time. It's because you do bad things all the time. And so, y'all laughing? Some of y'all looking at your kids like, laugh. You want them to laugh too, right? So I used to question whether it was discipline or abuse. And you know what God showed me? God showed me. See, God had to show me it. See, none of y'all could come to me because I was questioning some of them whoopings I got. You know, so God came to me and he said, abuse, you don't question. You know when you're being abused. It's not a question about it. He said the only reason you question the discipline is because it's godly discipline. And when it's godly discipline, it forces you to change some habits that you were doing before. And sometimes you don't want to change them. So for me, it was a kick in the gut because God made me understand that people discipline because they love. People abuse because they don't know love. You get that? You discipline because you love. Abuse is done because you don't know love. And so I knew one thing. I knew my mom knew love. I knew my dad knew love. So I had to come to the conclusion that it was discipline that they were putting me through. And so I want to tell you some stories today about what I've been through, some of the interesting things, because we my family, we country. We country with a K, not with a C. Some of y'all C country, y'all a little weak, y'all watered down. We country with a K. K country. K country is serious. K country does things like the women chew tobacco. Anybody? I'm just telling my family. We K country. K country drink whiskey. I'm not talking about my mom, but I'm talking about some of my kinfolk. Drink whiskey. Moonshine. Oh, see, that's K. You K. Everybody the K's. Throw the K's up. K's up. K's up. K country carried a gun and didn't care nothing about it. K country. In the house, openly. Whether the cops were there, it didn't matter. They had their gun on them. That's K country. I'm just talking about my family. I'm not talking about any of your families out there. But some of your families may have been at my family's house. I'm just letting you know. And so we had a grandmother. My grandmother was K country. Official, OG. She was OGK. OGK. So here's what she used to do. She chewed tobacco. Didn't care nothing about it. Drank. Didn't care nothing about it. You couldn't take it from her. You could take one of the bullets from her, but you couldn't take it from her, and did not care about that. So I like to expose these things in my life. That's why my mom's laughing right now. I like to expose these things because she's been telling me some stories. And she told me about my grandmother, and years ago, I was a little kid, and she had told me not to touch something. It's called a stove. And grandmother only tell you once. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Grandmother tell you once. Now, I didn't know. I'm innocent. I'm like, no, don't touch that boy. She's like, boy, don't touch that boy. And so I'm like, okay, I got to play it again. Started to want to touch it again. My mom jumped in. She stopped it because she knew about Kay. She knew what was about to happen, and grandma ain't gonna tell you twice. So grandma said, because my mom stepped in and said, oh, no, boy, you better stop. And I didn't know. I'm like, oh, la. And she said, that grandma said, yeah, I love that boy. Let him touch it again. That's what she told me. So let him touch, go ahead, boy, touch it again. See, grandma is the one who knows you got 10 fingers and willing to allow you to lose one to keep the other 9. Y'all know what I'm saying? Y'all got them kind of grandmothers in here? So I'd have been up here like this if I'd have touched it again, because she'd have let it burn my fingers straight off. He got 9 more. And so, she was willing to let me lose that. And it's like in baseball. In baseball, they call it a sacrifice. Anybody ever heard of the sacrifice bunt? You don't need to know much about baseball. You just know that one man sees the other men on base and will bunt, hit the ball slowly, knowing that he may get out, but he'll draw the other one in. And so she was like, look, he may lose this one finger, but he'll have the other 9. He'll be all right. He can function with 9. So she was willing to sacrifice one of my fingers. That's K country. That's how we do it in K country. I'm trying to get discipline. I'm trying to show you how discipline needs to go back to what we did years ago, because these things changed me. Look, when my mom told me no and put my hand near that fire and I felt the heat, it made me stay away from the fire. You know that? Some of us allow our kids to do whatever they want, and what ends up happening is they end up getting in situations like what happened in Colorado, because they don't know right from wrong. And so we knew right from wrong. We knew that. And so she loved me enough to allow me to experience pain to avoid death. Anybody ever went through that? I allowed my kid to fall off the bed one time because I knew that if she fell off the bed, she would learn the reason why I'm telling her not to get to the edge. Some of us comfort them. We comfort them too much. And when we comfort them so much, when they fall so deep they can't come back because you never disciplined them the right way. So I can only tell you it from K country and how to do it the right way. And so then, you get children who say things like I don't want to go to church. You ever heard them children say that? We didn't have options in our household. It was like, you getting up to go to church. Oh, it must be Sunday.